everyone, my name is Miranda and today I'm here to discuss episode 7 of Shadowhunters, and as always, if you don't want to be spoiled for what happened in the new episode, thank you so much for stopping by, but we will have to meet again in the future after you have seen the episode. And if you want to check out any of my previous episode reviews, I will leave a link to them in the description box down below for your viewing pleasure. Bye for now, non-spoilers! What is going on with my hands today? Blah. Anywho, Shadowhunters this week. Honestly, this has been my favorite episode thus far. It was so good and so, I don't know, like I was just like glued to the TV screen the whole time it was happening, and I don't really know why. I just really like this episode. So the main two things of this episode were, now that Clary knows the cup is in those tarot cards her mother made, Luke has them in his office desk at the police precinct, so him, Jace, and Clary had to try and sneak in to go get the cup before anyone else noticed, because there are also some people who work for Valentine that he has on the inside. Unfortunately, Clary has the brightest hair known to mankind, so she can't really blend in and get the cup herself. So Luke goes in first, and it all quickly goes to poop. I honestly thought when this IA guy came in that he was working for Valentine and this was like a distraction to try and get to Luke, but apparently the humans are just like, hey, you seem like you may have murdered 2 people. That's not cool. Let's talk about that, bro. And like, I'm confused because I don't remember what happened to the first witness, but the second witness was definitely ripped to shreds. So like, why did they take his gun to test when it was like, shouldn't you like take his fingerprints and see if he has claw marks that match the ones all over the body? So that was confusing to me. But with Luke preoccupied, it was up to Clary and Jace to save the day, and we got some detective work, kind of teamwork from Clary and Jace, and it was very cute to see. They're working very well together. One thing that I really love, I feel like Clary and Jace do very strong, is when they work together, but like these like undercover things, like when he had her on the vampire bike and was like pretending to be her boyfriend, and this one when she went in and pretended he was like her boyfriend that cheated on her, slapped the crap out of him, was like, get away from me, you cheated on me. He was so funny in that too, when he's like, come on, it was only through 2, 3, it was only a couple times, babe, I'm sorry. He was so funny in that scene, and I really liked how he played off it, how he just like went with it even though he was so offended she slapped him. My only thing is like, I think the line about where she was like, I'm sorry, and he's like, what? And she said, for the other 10%. I think that was supposed to like harken back to the pilot episode when in the book, and I know they filmed it because Dominic Sherwood talked about, but in the book when he said he was 90% sure she was a Shadowhunter and the rune wouldn't kill her, and then she slapped him and he said, what was that for? And she said the other 10%. So I feel like that was supposed to be like, it would have like been cuter and funnier had like they left that scene in, because I know what it meant because I've read the books, but had you not and you didn't know about that scene, you would have just been like, why is she apologizing for the 10% and not, hey, I'm gonna slap you, I should apologize for that. Unfortunately, because of the love triangle, the more time Clary spends with Jace, the less she spends with Simon, and Simon really needed his best friend right now. Like, I felt super bad for Simon because I didn't remember particularly what happened in the book, but it was similar to what happened in the book in that he went to the hotel on his own accord, and you find out he would have been fine had he not gone. It was more of a like, hey, it's a human, let's eat him thing in the book, and not like Camille being like, haha, I'm gonna mess with you and get you. But like, I felt so bad for him because it's like you could tell how freaked out he was, and then he was so relieved when he found out he was fine and it was all gonna wear off. And if he had just been able to talk to Clary or talk to Jace or Alex or Izzy, they could have told him that like vampire blood has side effects, but like he'll be perfectly normal. So I felt bad for Simon. Like, Clary had a lot going on, but she did kind of drop it in the best friend department because she should have been there for him. I think she's gonna carry a lot of guilt because of that, and some of it's justified, some of it's not, I feel like, but I'm also interested to see like how Simon is gonna react to her now being like, I needed you, I was freaking out, and it turns out I was fine, but you could have stopped me from going here, and now I'm a vampire basically because you wouldn't help me out. So I'm gonna be interested to see like how their whole accord happens now that he is a vampire, and it's kind of like she indirectly played a part in it by not being there for him when he was freaking out. I also did love meeting Simon's mom and sister. Like, I like that they're actually like casting like good actors. Like, usually when you have these side bit parts, they're just like annoying actors who can't act for crap, but like Simon's sister and mom are actually really good actors. So I like seeing their whole relationship because it's not something that was super explored in the book, as well as Simon's whole reaction to when he thought he was becoming a vampire. I really like that. I mean, the dude made a list of reasons why I'm a vampire, reasons why I'm not a vampire, so that was a little Twilight-ish with Googling the word vampire, but like just the whole thing of him like freaking out in the hallucinations, we really didn't get to see that in the book, and to see that side made me feel really, really bad for Simon, because you can see like why he was so desperate, why he was going out of his mind, because he literally thought he was turning into a vampire, and unfortunately he wasn't. But now, because of what he led himself into and because he couldn't get a hold of Clary, he is going to be a vampire now, and the next episode is going to be very, very emotional for Clary, I feel like, because of everything that happened with Simon. And I feel like she's going to feel even more guilty because while Simon is off getting attacked by a vampire, she was having the best day of her life with Jace. Her and Jace were amazing in this episode. I have always loved them, but in the show thus far, I mean, their moments have been cute, but they felt really like big and grand and like, you know, like just not like little kind of chemistry things, if that makes sense, I guess. But in this episode, I really like how they played off each other, how they flirted with one another, and then when she saw the demon that was pretending to be Jace, and she knew it wasn't him, but she still had that moment where she thought it was him because the demon took like 10 long seconds to turn into that creepy looking thing. She was so heartbroken. You could tell how shaken up she was. But I really like when she went back to the Institute and Jace is freaking out and he's like, we need to find Clary, she's our #1 priority. And she saw him, she ran to him, she hugged him, which was really cute. Was trying to say like, oh, I got the cup, I'm okay, blah blah blah, and he was like, I don't care about the cup, I care about you, I was so worried about you. And I was like, aw. And then she just lays a big smacker on him when like she's trying to say like, I knew it wasn't you, like defending how she knew how to kill the demon, and he's being like, oh, I knew you would do it. And she just kissed him, and I really like that she was the one that kissed him, because I feel like it's her kind of like taking control of her life in this relationship. So I really like that aspect of it. I feel bad for Alec, kind of. I mean, I don't know. He's got Magnus, so he'll be fine, guys. Don't feel bad about him. But that kiss was so cute and so hot, and it was way better than any movie kiss we've ever had, which is weird because those two were actually dating in real life in the movie, so you think like their movie kiss should have been better. But nope, this kiss was so much better, and I so loved it. The only thing is, we know what happens after the kiss, and now we're getting closer to that, and I'm just not prepared for it. I just want happy Clary and Jace for a little longer, but even the preview next week, it looks like all of a sudden he's gonna like pull back and be like, and we'll see how that goes. But Clary and Jace, definitely my favorite part of this episode. Alec was pretty cool too. I like his line. He had the best line of the night in my opinion when he was like, normally say this, but I actually agree with Clary. Awesome line, Alec. I really love him, and all the actors are just, they're doing so much better acting wise. The writing is so much better, and I love how you can tell more so in the TV show than in the book that the people in the TV show, even though it's not exactly like the books, they actually read the books and like know connections. Like they mentioned demon pox, they've mentioned Tessa, like they mentioned things that kind of connect it and are kind of like little shout outs, like little Easter eggs for fans of the books, and I really appreciate that. But overall, this episode was phenomenal. 6 out of 5 stars for me. It was so great. I loved everything with Clary and Jace. I love that Clary's becoming a badass. Next week looks like it's going to be a heartbreaker for sure, because I'm sure with Simon in trouble, Clary's going to be pulling away, and Jace doesn't like when Clary spends all her time with Simon, so he's going to pull away, and then Clary's going to be mad. It's just going to be a big old mess, but we always have Magnus and Alex to focus on, so that'll be good. Hopefully when one couple is not doing so well, the other one is, because if they're both doing bad at the same time, we're just going to explode. So yeah, we'll see how that happens. But anyway, if you watched that episode, please feel free to leave your thoughts about it down below in the comments to let me know what your favorite parts were, what you thought of the Clary and Jace kiss, oh my gosh, and what you're looking forward to in the rest of the season. Also, make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe down below to my channel to be told when I make all sorts of new videos. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!